Here are 7 powerful things to consider before you quit your corporate job to become an entrepreneur. Hi, my name is Toyin Umesiri. Like you, I built a successful career in the corporate world, working for the biggest companies in the world. And now I run my own company, platforms, and I also own my own brands, beauty brand. So here are 7 things to consider before you also leave your corporate job to become an entrepreneur. Number 1, there has to be a huge mindset shift. Here's the way I describe it. Imagine a domesticated lion, okay? Just go with me, okay? Just bear with me a little bit. A domesticated lion, meaning a lion in a zoo that breakfast, lunch, and dinner are always served, are always brought to the lion, right? And then all of a sudden, that lion gets released into the wild. Here's what's going to happen. Now, all of a sudden, the lion has to learn how to feed itself, learn how to hunt down its own food, and also learn how to roar, and become their full potential. So that's the way I describe entrepreneurship. It requires a complete mindset shift. So you have to be ready to make that journey of transformation. It's not going to be overnight, right? Because corporate life is very safe. It's the safest thing you can do. And that's why I personally do not talk about, pushing people, to leave, because I know entrepreneurship is not for everybody. But one thing to also do now is support people who believe entrepreneurship is for them, but also need that kind of guidance, right? So that's the first thing. Know that you're going to go through a transformation. A mindset shift, a complete shift. That's what has happened for me. And also realize that it's not going to be overnight. The second thing that I would say is know your why, okay? Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? It is so important to really understand your why, because this is a new journey and with its own bumps, ups and downs, that you're going to get into spaces where you consider really saying, okay, this is not for me, let me go back. But if you have a strong why, it will give you the passion, the tenacity to keep pushing hard, because you know what you're going after. So for example, for me, my big shift really happened after my dad passed about 6 years ago. I wrote a biography, his mini biography. I traveled back home. I connected with my community back, because before that, I had been gone. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I had been in the US. I had been gone from the continent for over a decade, never really looking back, never really visiting, even though I stayed connected. So when my dad passed, that was a huge shift for me. It really did change my life. And I began this journey of transformation for myself to say, okay, I know who I am. I want my life to really add more value. Not just for myself, because corporate really, you live the American dream, all of that. But for me, I wanted more. I wanted impact. And the way I describe that is almost like, when we were younger, what we used to do, we will sign some things and say, I was here. So for me, that's the journey that I'm on. It's a journey of impact. It's a journey of transformation. It's the journey of really using my work, my skills, my talent to impact as many people as possible. So that's my why. So you have to be conscious and aware of your own why. Number 3, the other thing you have to really be clear about to become an entrepreneur, you have to know what value you want to bring to the marketplace. This is really the essence of entrepreneurship. Value creation, bringing value to the world. A lot of time people say, oh, I want to make money. Making money is the byproduct, okay? Making money, income, revenue, sales is the byproduct of your productivity, in terms of you're bringing value to get value. You're bringing a service that people need and they value it enough to pay you back. So that's really the game changer. You have to be clear what value, whether your product or service, you want to bring to the marketplace. So number 4, and I have my notes right here because I want to really get this out there. So number 4 is know the people, have clarity around the people you want to serve. So you know your value. Also be clear what segment of this landscape you want to bring that value to. this is a science. It's a science in terms of your customer profiles and customer insights. The more you can know the people you're open to serve, the more you can design a clear message, the more you can bring that value to them. So that's something you really have to not just know, you have to get your hands around it, because these are the people that will sustain your business. Okay, the people you're called to serve, they're the ones that will sustain your business. You know how they say customer is almost right, or is always right? Well, here's what you have to know. You need those clientele, you need those customers to see you, to understand you, and to believe that you are the right person to do the job. Okay, this one is super, super important. Like, people don't think about it. You have to switch up your network. If you're shifting from corporate to entrepreneurship, you have to completely change the people around you. Okay, here's why. Entrepreneurs move in pack. You know, like the analogy of the lion. If you're out there by yourself in the wild, like, you could, there's danger out there. You don't know what you don't know, right? You need to really go out there and find the mature lions that know how to go after the prey, you know, that will teach you the skills that you really need, right? You absolutely need to. But if you stay in your current network and you look around me and everybody's in corporate and everybody's like, you know, corporate life, yeah, that's what all you're going to keep seeing. So you need to build a network of entrepreneurs, like people thinking like you, people going after the same things, people that can sharpen you. You're also going to need insights, you know, people you can ask questions like, oh, how do you do your payroll? Oh, how do you do your marketing? Oh, are you on social media? Like, you're going to start needing a new type of information, a new type of mindset, and you're going to need so much for you to run your business, because your business is only as impactful as you, right? Because you are the boss now, right? So make sure you switch up your network. And if you need hints around that, you know, reach out to me. Okay, number 6 is personal branding. You know, when we're in corporate space, we really operate under the bigger brand of the company we work for. For me, for example, I worked for Walmart, at the headquarters of Walmart. That's Fortune 1, the biggest player, right? Everything I needed was right under that umbrella. And all you have to say is, you know, Walmart, and you get value even from the umbrella brand that you work from. Well, when you step out there, let me tell you, I did it, right? The day you say, I resign, you're by yourself. Right? And then when you want to start serving people and working with people, they're asking the question, who are you? What do you stand for? What have you done before? What can you do for me? There's all these questions in the minds of your potential clients. So the way I see personal brand is you being able to capture their attention through your own personal journey or your personal story, right? So it's how you craft that message, like what you stand for, what can you do for them, right? So this is a journey, and your brand messaging could shift from time to time. You know, so let me give you an example. For me, for example, one thing that is so important to me because of my creativity is I always separate who I am from what I do. And because I do that, I'm able to create multiple values. That is not just Toyin. So Toyin has her own brand, the woman behind the brands and platform and the work. But my work, I have Nazaru, I have my global events where we bring, government officials and executives together. I have my network where I coach members on this and that. I have my beauty brand. So for me, it's so important for me to distinguish who Toyin is, meaning the woman, the powerful woman behind all of these amazing platforms, from the platforms that I'm building myself. Most people do not do it, but it's become so important for me. Why is it important to me? It's because I, as a person, I want the liberty and the freedom to bring whatever value that I feel into the marketplace. So for example, if you don't consider that, you're going to be locked in to a certain brand if you don't decouple yourself. But it's a whole topic. There's some interesting things that I do that allows me to do that, because a year from now, I want the freedom to be able to say, hey, I have interest in creating my fashion brand because I do have trademarks. Now I want to be my own fashionista. I want to do this. So that's just something about Toyin, is that I'm the powerful woman behind so much platform, so much value in the marketplace. And I want that freedom to be able to keep doing that. Even the launch of my coaching program, it's because I realized that what I know is of value to other people. And I'm saying, you know what? I want to be a coach. I want to show people. I don't want people to go through 3-4 years and then waking up and say, oh, now I understand entrepreneurship. When I can spend maybe 6 weeks program and design a 6 weeks program and say, hey, you're now the lion in the wild. You need to consider A, B, C, D, E, F, have you done this? This is how you do it. And a lot of times, even in my coaching, when I talk to people, people say, oh, Tony, don't worry, I've got it figured out. I have a business plan. And I give them like the side eye, business plan? Okay, let me explain to you. Your business plan is just like an architect having a building plan on paper. Fantastic, right? It's the first step. Yes, you've got the plan. Now get to work. Now you have to build the business. So I focus more on the practicality of building a business, because every single day that's what I'm doing. A lot of times people say, oh yeah, the plan, it looks good. Yes, it looks good on paper. Yes, it's great in your mind. You know what the future is. But guess what? It might take you 5 years of building, of grinding, of work, of hard work, right? To actually fully form, to have that image fully formed and brought into the landscape. And that's one of the reasons I also designed a program called, Ideas to Life, right? Is because I realized that so many people have ideas. They might write it down on paper, but the ability to be able to take that idea from concept and take it through a process, right, to maturation, to actually having a structure in place that other people can see. Right? So it's not just what you have in your mind. You now want it to be represented in the world, that other people can actually say for you what you're doing or interpret your work. And that's what I have done over and over again. And I keep doing it. And now I'm realizing that, wow, so many more people need that type of opportunity. So, okay, the last one, the 7th item, you really, powerful thing you have to absolutely think about: skills. Upskill yourself. Let me explain. As an entrepreneur, like when I was in corporate, I had everything at my disposal. An event, you have people, I had staff, I had my team, I could delegate things, I had access to like my executives that I worked for, strategy, everything I needed was right there, right? Guess what? When you go out there to become an entrepreneur, you are the boss, and the more skills you have, the more you can do. Again, let me give you an example. So when I host my my global events where we bring people from all over the world to attend, I usually have a production team that I pay them thousands of dollars to produce my event for me, right? That's big, there's lights, camera, it's 2.5 days, like you have a crew literally producing this global events, from video to photography to volunteers to, like, I have a huge mass of people. That's fine. But what I also found is for everyday production of content, I had to go back and learn my own way, where in the corporate world, you wouldn't have to do that. You had people, right? You could pay this, right? But one of the things that I quickly realized that if I want it to be fluid, if I want the flexibility of, and the consistency, I needed to learn it myself. And I spent the last 2 years really perfecting things around videos and all of that in a way that allows me to be able to do something. It might not be completely like hand, but it does allow me to pass my message across, right? It was one of the most painful things I had to learn. But yeah, 2 years after, I feel more comfortable doing that. I even now do like a weekly live show and all of that. So don't be afraid to acquire new skills. The more skills you have for yourself, the more you can do, right? But when you have so much dependency on other people, it slows you down. So as you're building, remember, we all want to grow big. A lot of the organizations we're working for, they've existed for 50, 100 years. So they've figured out how to do all of this. But if you're starting from scratch, give yourself time to grow, and a lot of times people don't want to realize it, but be humble enough. right? Even though, and I think that's one of the struggles, right? For me, after working for Fortune 1, and I work at this, my level of expectation, the things that I do, exquisite, all of that, I want to bring it into my own business, and I try to bring it as much as possible. But guess what? The affordability of all of those exquisite, luxurious presentation could literally put you back when it comes to your finance, your cash flow, right? So how do you strike that balance of, what you want and what your taste is, who you want to serve, right? But how do you mature into that space? I think that's the key, is give yourself time, be gentle enough with yourself to say, yes, in our mind, we want to be the best, the biggest, the baddest, all of that. Hold on to that dream, hold on to that aspiration, but learn how to crawl, right? Learn how to crawl, then walk, then run, and then, fly. Because entrepreneurship is a journey. So I hope this has really been a great help for you. One of the things I've also launched is a coaching program for those who want to switch from corporate to entrepreneurship. Before you leave your corporate job, I really think it's going to be so much valuable to you. Spend time with someone like myself, for us to really be able to deep dive and say, okay, let's look at the idea you want to bring in. How are you going to create revenue for yourself? How are you going to design your sales plan, your marketing plan, and all of that, like before you leave, right? Because once you leave, you're really going to be, it's almost like sink or swim. And that's why when you look at the statistics out there, many small businesses or new businesses may not survive all of this. And with the shifts and COVID impact and all of that, we see the struggle out there. So I think, this is so important. That's why I'm super excited to bring this corporate to entrepreneurship coaching program, to spend time with people such as myself that are in corporate world, but have the dream and aspiration to also build their own business. It's taken me years to get here. I've learned a lot, and now I want to share that with my clients as well. So why don't you just book your 1-hour discovery paid session, and let's look at your idea, what you want to do, and let me give you my perspective of how you can go after that and how you as well can build your successful business. Okay, my name is Toyin. I really consider this an honor to just be able to bring value again to the marketplace, to see the struggles that people are going through out there, and to be able to raise my hands, which is what I've always done, to raise my hands and say, hey, I think I can help. I think I can give a perspective that might help people a little bit to adjust to the shifts in the marketplace, and also to achieve their dreams and to become the person they want to be. I'm telling you, one thing that entrepreneurship has done for me is to recover my power, to step into this world, to exist in this world as a powerful, influential woman, to be able to engage with people, to be able to bring value. And that's a very, very fulfilling place to be. And I want to inspire other people to explore it if it is for you. And so I look forward to hearing from you. Go check out my website, toyinyumesiri.com. Bye.